guys, so today's video is about advice for starting uni, especially when you're struggling with your mental health. And today we have a special guest, and that is my dog Poppy. And Poppy actually hasn't been very well this past week, well, since Saturday really. And you can see a wee shaved patch on her ear. She has 7 shaved patches. But she's on the mend now, she's just really sleepy. So I think she's just going to lie beside me. And she actually has an Instagram, but I'll put that here. You want to lie, Pop? And anyhow, let's get straight into the video. So my first tip for uni is to make sure you know what transport you need to get to and from uni and how long it's going to take. So for me, I didn't move away for uni and I'm staying at home, and I have to get a train to uni, and door to door it takes me nearly an hour and a half to get to and from uni. And I worked out before uni what train I would be getting, when I would need to leave the house at, what time I'd arrive at the train station, how long I would be at the train station for before the train arrived, what time I would arrive at the other train station, then how long I would take me to get from the train station to my uni, and then how long I'd be at the uni for before I would be at my first, wasn't a lecture because it was induction week, but the lecture of the induction week, I suppose. And I really recommend you do the same, because it just put me so at ease to know that I had one thing checked off. What was already an extremely anxiety provoking day was made slightly easier because I knew that something was laid out, and I had it organised. I was in control of my journey and I knew what I was doing, and it just made it so much easier for me because it felt like I was in charge and I was at peace of mind. And I think that's something that would be really beneficial to know, just your journey. And I know it seemed really stupid, and I know it seems really obvious for me to say, but the amount of people that have been like, oh, I didn't do the journey beforehand, or I hadn't even I didn't even look at the journey beforehand. I didn't actually fully do my journey beforehand, but I knew my whole journey route, and I'd been at the train station at the other end. I knew the walk as well, so just know what your journey is, essentially. My next tip is really the best thing to do is to tell your uni that you struggle with your mental health, and if you have any mental health conditions, tell your uni. The reason for this is because they can help you. They can put things in place that are beneficial to you. They can alert your lecturers so that they know that you might suddenly up and leave in the middle of a lecture. So, for example, I suffer with panic attacks, and touch wood, there's wood there. I've never had a panic attack in uni this year, but all my lecturers were made aware that I might suddenly get up and leave because I might suddenly take a panic attack in a lecture. And then if I got up and left, none of my lecturers could point out to me and be like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Or if I came back, they couldn't be like, why did you disappear for so long? And that would be made aware to them so that I then didn't feel singled out or targeted. And it was all for me, and it was done in my best interests. And so it's best that you do the same. It was also arranged that then if I was struggling and going through a difficult time, I could ask for extensions on assignments and deadlines. So again, in my best interests, and they just cared about making sure that I was okay. And I really recommend that you alert your uni, because it means they keep an eye on you a bit more. They're not going to be like, oh, how are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? Because they don't have time for that, and that sounds horrible, but they have a lot of people. It's not like a school situation. It's uni. There's hundreds of people doing a course normally. They don't have the time for that, but they will try and keep a wee eye on you and alert your lecturers like that. Or if there's going to be something that could be very triggering for you, they'll try and just have your lecturer be aware of that or anything like that. They just want to make sure that they're doing everything they can to support you. And that leads on to my third piece of advice, and that is to see what services are available for you within your uni. And so there's normally like a student services kind of area or something along those lines, and within that, for me, we have an online counselling thing, and like you can access a whole selection of different tools and things. It's called SilverCloud. I don't know if other unis have it. I don't know if it's a university thing or if it's just for my uni. We have a counsellor that you can arrange to see, but again, there's often a waiting list for that because that's a counsellor for the whole uni, not just my course. But there's a whole lot. There's student services. If the counsellor can't see you, there's people who will talk to you. If you're in a point of crisis, they will do everything they can to support you at that moment. And again, they care about you. They want the best for you. They want to do whatever they can to make you feel better. And so really, it's best if you can make yourself aware of what's available and help yourself. And if you do these things prior to being in a point of crisis or in a breakdown, then it means that if you do get to a point where you're really upset, you already know where to turn to. But if you then are upset and need help, you won't know where to turn to, which will make things a lot worse, essentially. My next point is that what I had to do and what I basically live by is 60 seconds of bravery. And I did this a lot in my first couple of weeks at uni, and I do this a lot even now. And not just at uni, just in life, but at uni especially. Take a deep breath and tell yourself you have to have 60 seconds of bravery. If you need to ask a lecturer a question, if you haven't spoken to anyone and you need to you're trying to introduce yourself to someone, 60 seconds of bravery. Take a big deep breath and then say, "Hi, how you doing?" Anything. Initiate a conversation with someone. That's my next point. Put yourself out there. Combine things, but just put on a brave face. Give yourself an alter ego. Just pretend you're really brave. Act it. Just act it. Say that you can do this. Be brave and go for it. My next point is put yourself out there. And I'm not saying that you have to be a social butterfly, but you want to have some friends at uni. You don't want to start uni and end up with no friends and be really, really lonely. And you don't have to have 101 friends. 101 Dalmatians, but 101 friends. Nice, Rebecca. But just a few friends is fine. But you have to have conversations with people to make friends. So talk to people. Ask them how they're doing. The thing is, whether people suffer with their mental health or not, chances are they will also be really, really nervous on their first day and their first couple of weeks at uni too. So you're not alone in this horrible feeling, the butterflies in your stomach, the nauseous feeling that you've got, and they'll probably be feeling it too. So again, 60 seconds of bravery. Ask them how they're doing. Ask if you want to sit next to them in the next lecture. Anything. try and initiate a conversation, and you never know, you might just spark your friendship that could be lifelong. You might just make a lifelong friend just by giving yourself the opportunity to speak. With regards to when you make friends, this is something that's going to be very personal to you. You keep up. You don't need to tell your friends about your mental health. That's totally up to you. But it might be wise to, because again, what happens if something really upsets you in a lecture, or you get really overwhelmed, or you have a panic attack, anything like that? It might be wise to tell your friends that you've just made. But then the friends you make in your first week might not be your friends that you have in the first month, because the people you're making friends with in Freshers Week and first couple of weeks don't always last. The people I made friends with on the first day are still my friends at uni, but that's just my luck, but that's not everyone's luck. So it might be that you just want to say that you're feeling extremely nervous about today, and sometimes things happen. You might decide you don't want to say anything at all. That will be very personal to you, and I can't tell you what's best for you to do. That'll be down to you and how you feel in the situation. It'll be how you feel that you think the person's going to react, how they come across. Because some people, you can just tell how they're going to come across by their body language, the way that they talk, things like that. You can just sense how they might react to things. Other people, you can see that you just think they won't understand. And so really, it'll be up to you whether you tell your friends about your mental health or not. But what I will say is, once you think this is your group of friends that you're going to stick with, it probably is a wise idea to tell them something. And it doesn't mean that you need to tell them everything, but it's probably a wise idea to tell them a little bit, just so if you're struggling or if you seem a bit quieter than usual, they can keep an eye on you. Because at the end of the day, friends care about you just as much as family, sometimes more than your family. And again, they'll only want what's best for you. I think I'm going to leave it there. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I think it was very rambly, so I am really sorry about that. But I hope you enjoyed it anyway, and let me know if there is any other videos you want to see, and I will get filming them. And after next week's video, the next two will be pre-filmed because I am going on holiday, which I am very excited about and also very nervous about, but I'm sure it will be great, and hopefully I come back with a nice tan. So if you have video requests or ideas, I would love to hear them, because I now have to come up with 3 video ideas. So yeah, but as always, please look after yourselves, take care and stay safe, and I'm always here if you need me, and I love you lots.